Shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yehovah Yehoshua. This is Sound Some YYBY. Let's bring it out. So, I don't know what it is, man, but it's a lot of people who just, I never seen so much hate for a dog. You know, but the same, it's a lot of love. But I never seen so many people who hate a dog like people hate Reason. Like, this shit is mind-boggling, man. Like, for like the last 3 years, man. Like, everybody, speak on opinions about their dog that they love and stuff that they want them to have and stuff like that. Boom, boom. I get that part. But I be watching interviews and podcasts and certain shit, and a person might be like, they be like, yo, what you make your beats in, or what you record and mix in? I use Reason. They be like, what? You use what? Why you use that? Like, that's the shit they be on. Like they don't have, like, as if they don't have no experience, or they don't know that you can use anything to be fucking nice. You get what I'm saying? So we gonna end that shit today, bro. We about to talk about a few things that Reason, 11 things that Reason started before any dog, and dogs copy from that. Every dog copy from each other without a doubt, but there's some things that Reason put on the map first, man, before a lot of these fucking dogs did, you feel me? So I think we need to give some people a reality check for those who be hating on the dog Reason all the time and don't even know what they really tapped into and all that. Maybe Reason don't hurt y'all feelings, or, I don't know why a dog hurt y'all feelings, but I don't know. The question is, are y'all making money from the shit? That's the question. Like, are you really getting out, putting your work? Like, whatever dog you using, or you just wasting time in life, or you really putting in work to get somewhere with this craft? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't doing that, then why the fuck y'all be babbling? But, well, not to keep going left field with it, but let's bring this out, man, so a lot of people can get a reality check, and y'all can go do the research yourself, the things that I'm talking about. And just to let y'all know, before I tell y'all these things, I've been using Reason since the first one. I had Reason since the first one in the 90s. That's a fact, right? A lot of y'all just hopped on Reason around version 5, right? Version 5, 6, 7, something like that, which is cool. But I've been using Reason since version 1, the first one. Matter of fact, before version 1, it was recycled. It wasn't a dog. But anyway, let's keep going. So let's start. The first thing that Reason created that no dog is doing is modular rack base. That's modular rack base. That means the concept of wires in a dog. Even to this day, there's no dog do this. Not even close. Don't have the feature. Maybe you ain't trying to do it. Ain't fucking with it. It's no dog that do this. And I talked about this many a times, or why this can be important. This can be a learning tool from a lot of y'all young gents who want to be in big studios. When you go in big studios, what do y'all see? The shit that y'all always debate about and argue about which one is the best, analog or digital. So you go in studios, you're going to see both. You're going to see hybrid. You're going to see exactly this right here, the whole rack inside of the studio, rigging it up and everything. So Reason was the first one to do that, bro. And still to this day, nobody haven't tried it. They don't want that smoke. So maybe I understand the reason why they probably don't want to do it. They know that it's a whole nother level of a thought process of coding that and putting that together to make that work and function a certain way. So when I really sat back and did some research on like what it really takes to really get that type of concept done right here, this coding shit, I kind of fell back and was a little bit easy on understanding what they got to think about when they added certain features to the dog, because certain features have to run concord with that rack, right? So for example, like I was talking to somebody online the other day, like they say folder tracks, which I love to have, cool. Even if you don't have it, that's cool, because I love the mixer and Reason so much, where how it looks, I mean, shit, it just make you want to mix, just make you want to mix in the dog. It's so beautiful, the console. But anyway, if they do folder tracks, they have to figure out a way how to, go to the rack and fold these up and have these wires communicate with each other. You get what I'm saying? So that's, they might be working on it, who knows? But I'm sure if they are working on it, it takes a minute. Let's keep going. Rewire. Reason started Rewire work. They did, Propeller Heads did that work with Steinberg. Cubase. Yes. The ones who started the VST instruments, right? Well, not VST instrument, but the VST format. Right. So because you gotta remember, Reason was one of the first ones to do virtual instruments, devices in the DAW. And then that's when, Cubase wasn't good with making beats at first. Like, they didn't really have a lot of tools like that. So Rewire. And Rewire was the way you can connect with other DAWs to do music. And every DAW got that concept now. Yeah, Rewire. Right. So it'd be great if they bring it back, to a point where we still can connect with other Reason users. We could just actually just send them the file that we already got, but Rewire, and like a lot of the other DAWs today, is a concept where you can work together in real time, right? You can work together in real time. So yeah, Reason was the first one with that, bro. Steinberg had them build that, and I don't know the reason why they stopped making it. I know that after that, Steinberg started doing that other thing called the Virtual Connect. I forgot what it's called, but now Cubase can connect with people and do music in their DAW with somebody in another country and stuff. Let's keep going. Number 3, virtual synth instruments and effects, man. On a whole nother level inside of the DAW, of the stock. The stock inside of when you buy it comes with that. Because when you go back in those days, people was buying certain plugins to use in their DAW. They was buying that. That's all people was doing, buying plugins and buying instruments to use in their DAW. Reason the first DAW to come out and had all that shit in it, shebang, like already stacked up, all type of effects, crazy ideas, everything. So number 3 is virtual synth effects. Number 4, recycle. One of the first, actually the first where you can sample in a DAW MPC style, where you can chop the sample up. Because you got to remember, we're not talking about, people was already chopping samples up in MPCs, in the drum machines and everything. But when it converted over to those DAWs, Reason came out with that junk called Recycle, and Recycle was actually out before Reason ever came out. And they created that, and where you can able to chop those samples up, man. They was the first, and that's where they get the concept of the what they got built inside the DAW right now. Like the Dr. Octorex and chopping the samples up. All these things in here got their certain features where you can actually chop those samples up in here. Like even when you go to the Kong and you go down here and you go to the module, they got it. They put it in small places where you could chop the samples up in here, and you go to the NNXT and you go to the regular sequence on the DAW right here, and you could chop the samples up in here. And then you put it inside the Kong MPC style. So they was the first to do that, bro. So all y'all sampling inside y'all DAWs because of the inspiration of Reason. That's a fact. The other DAWs, Pro Tools and all them weren't doing that. They was focused on recording, mixing, and mastering. That's what they was focused on because, like you say, Pro Tools is industry standard, right? So that's what they was focused on. Whatever they made beats on, they'd transfer it right inside Pro Tools and get it mixed. And whatever they decide to use, Cubase or Logic, stuff like that, when they came out around a certain time, right? So let's keep going. Number 5, combinators. That's what Reason call it. But some DAWs call it multi-instruments. That means that when you drop inside and you drop the combinator in, right, which is right here, when you drop it in, you can add. So when people are like, I don't got no sounds, I don't got this and that, all you got to do is go drop whatever instruments you decide to drop in here. You can you don't even got to think about it. Let's take that off right quick. You don't have to think about it. You could just go right here, drop that in there, right? Drop that in there, right? Let's go to something else. Drop that in there. Play it. Is it gonna work right now? I don't think it's gonna work. I think I got it set up. Hold on, do I got it set up? I don't think I have it set up. All that. Set up. You don't got it set up. But anyway, I thought I had it set up. Damn, I'm bugging. All right, so you can combine it. The first one to do multi instruments. Where you can get a whole bunch of instruments, make it sound huge, big, come up with crazy ideas, orchestra type sounds, A, B, C, and D. Combinator. And on top of the combinator, you can be creative with it. You can make it look all type of ways, put custom stuff right here, backdrops, images, and everything, and design your own combinators. So DAWs emulated that. And that's why you got DAWs like Studio One. Cubase got something called Helium One. So on and so forth. Different DAWs got their concepts like that. And they was the first one to do that. Let's keep going. Number 6. I had to come back and do this one because I had skipped it. I forgot. Number 6 is actually rack extensions. As you see right here, you can go to any category, right? Reason was the first DAW to do this, where a third-party companies was able to come in and create their plugin specifically for Reason, right? You can go to any type of plugin and, just go through different joints. And also you come here to buy Reason extra plugins that they create for their DAW, like the Pidgeo lab they just made. You got the chord sequencer, the pad mutator. So the extra stuff that they sell, they also put it on here, right? So you can go to these, all the option that you can choose to filter out to go find anything you're looking for that somebody created, a third party. And they the first ones who come up with this idea where, again, because Reason is a rack, it's a rack. So it was no other DAW like Reason. And Reason never, intentions was never to create third-party plugins, bro. I mean, not third-party plugins. I mean, allow VST instruments. Allow VST, period. They didn't want to do that. People just kept crying about it. And they knew that it was going to cause issues. I mean, it got better. I didn't too much zoomed in it. I don't really too much care about it. But a lot of people do. I don't understand why, when you got so much stuff Reason already provide, and then you got rack extensions on here. But to each his own. So they say, hey, well, this is what we can do. We can come up with this idea, design your own. Like, matter of fact, let's go find one. Let's go find a popular one. Let's type in auto-tune. I'll type it in. Let me see. I got to type in Ontaries. Like, look, the auto-tune, Ontaries was smart. They came in and made a specific one for Reason that sit in the rack extensions. Just like that. It functioned better, worked way better than the original third-party one. Straight up. It really do. So that's the point why Reason created this concept, man. For third-party companies and everything. You can just find all type of stuff. 8-band filter shifter. Like, you can find all type of dope stuff that I done got from here that really made my workflow way better and added certain things that I was crying about that other DAWs had. Like notepads and like all type of stuff that I have in my DAW right now, that I can use that helped a lot, So, yeah. So, rack extensions, man, they was the first one to do that concept, man. Yeah, companies had their own plugins, effects, but they, you wasn't allowed to use their stuff. They didn't give you the option to create something to use in theirs that functioned better. You get what I'm saying? They was like, well, we just set, third VSTs. So there's a reason why Reason did that, because the way the DAW is designed. Let's keep going. The arranger. Yes. The arranger. It's really called the block, but it's really two different things. So they made the block. I think when they made the block, the intentions wasn't really thinking about the arranger. The arranger is this right here. You basically doing this, and you could name these hook, verse, chorus, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Studio One got it. They perfected it even to another level. Reason was the first one doing this, bro. They the first one started the arranger. So to add to it, the block where the concept really came for is this. So when people talk about the scratch pad in Studio One, this is the scratch pad, right? Reason already had the scratch pad in their own concept. So every dog do it their own way, their own ideas and shit. But they was the first one with this concept, the arranger concept and the scratch pad. Not Cubase, not Studio One, right? Reason Studio. Facts. Facts for it. When I first saw it, like, what the hell? You know, I was trying to wrap my head around it and everything. So that's the arranger and the block. So actually number 8 is the blocks. Number 7 is the arranger. Number 8 are the blocks. This is going to blow y'all minds up right here. Number 9, drag and drop. Yes, drag and drop. Reason might not be perfected with drag and drop, but guess what though? When you do like this, they the first one did that. They was the first one to do drag and drop in a DAW. Every time, most DAWs you have to go to the track, select, bring the plugin in, A, B, C, and D, stuff like that. In here, you could always drag and drop from day one. They had that concept from day one. You could drag and drop on the track right here. You just can't drag and drop on the console, on the mixer, but you can drag and drop. Now, Studio One took it to another level. So people are like, yo, Studio One could drag and drop. Yeah, they took it to another level where you can drag and drop inside of the audio files and shit like that, and that's on the sequencer right here, and they took it to an extra level. You could drag and drop on multiple tracks. So, you feel me? But Reason was the first one with the drag and drop concept. Look it up, check it out. If you use Reason back in the day and use all these other DAWs, you should already know, man. Let's keep going. Number 10. Reason was the first DAW with instruments on the track, basically icons. Yes, icons right here. When you drop an instrument in, you see the instrument icons to identify what track is that. Right now, DAWs, what they do, they got microphones, they got all type of icons they can put on the tracks. But none of them still to this day don't have where it showed the instruments on the track. Now, Reason don't have where you can, use those icons like the other DAWs have, like a microphone or, images of people and stuff like that. But you drop any one of these instruments in here, you drop it in here, it's going to add the icon right there. Easy, simplified, always been like that from day one. First DAW to do that. Facts. First DAW to do that. People copy from that. All right, the last one. This is number 11. Reason is the first DAW to have a emulation of the whole mixer as a console. As a SSL, British console, whatever console that you could think of. They the only DAW. Now, DAWs make the plugin that you can put on the track, that do certain things. But, but they the first one to add they whole mixer as this. Now, people don't copy. You got Luna doing the concept in a certain way, and you got what they call them, something called bus. I forgot what they call. I'll think about it later on. But they was the first one to do that. Yeah, first one to do that, to add the SSL board on here, and they still got it on here to this day, man. Yeah. So if you think of any other features, if you disagree, let's bring this proof out. I can bring it out without a doubt. With easy. But yeah, I just want to give y'all a reality check on some things that matter of fact, that's not even all the features that Reason of this. It's certain instruments and plugins. It's there's certain things, you know, they did unique that other dogs start copying, you know. Yeah. So that's not all of them, but I just want to bring up the main things, people. This is YYBY. Peace.